We have to explain the work that we're doing, the efforts that we're making, and what we feel that we're going through, at least on two levels. On the level of wisdom, where we talk about the forces, the reshimot, that work in the will to receive, and correspondingly what a person feels that he's going through. Of course, everything begins from the revelation of the broken reshimot. And it's felt in a person as that he's in a bad state. And because the reshimo is new, and every time there is a bigger reshimo that is revealed, then a person feels himself in a bad state, where he doesn't have the strength to overcome this state. He doesn't know how to cope with it, because the reshimo is new. It's a new evil, in a new way, on a new level, like never before. And this is what a person feels. And then he feels really anxious, because it's the concealment of the Creator, the concealment of the good, and the disclosure of evil. The ego, the will to receive, is becoming revealed. And then a person feels anxiety and fear and helplessness because of different reasons and from different sources. But this is actually usually the disclosure of evil. And you don't need any reason for it besides the revelation of the reshimo. And even though that the reshimo is spiritual, it's revealed in different clothings and corporeality. It could be through enemies, haters, problems, illnesses. It could be different bothers from those that are closer, from those that are further away from you. It could come in different ways. It depends on the reshimo itself, and what does a person have to correct? What kind of reshimo? When a person's in the reshimo, he's trying to escape. He doesn't know how. He really feels helpless. He has to feel this feeling. He has to taste it in a complete way, deeply, down to the end of the reshimo that appeared. And then he reaches the next stage, where he, as if recalls, remembers that the reshimo probably is coming from the Creator, that it's a part of his development. Of course, it's not that he remembers, but the problems and troubles that he felt, they worked in him in such a way that his suffering now, his deficiency, brought him closer to the general light. And then he starts identifying that probably that in this reshimo there is some kind of reason for which it happened. Or even more correctly put, he feels that it comes from the Creator. That probably somewhere along the way he has to determine that there is none else besides him, that by this he'll be saved of his fears. Meaning, he still thinks about himself, about how to be saved. And afterwards, he reaches a state where, yes, he's suffering more and more, and he's making an effort that were I connected with the Creator, then I could have escaped the feeling of all of these problems and troubles. And this is how he advances, feeling sorrow on both sides, both from being separated from the Creator and also from not being able to part with the troubles. And so, bit by bit, he starts finding another state, that maybe all these problems came in order for me to want to connect with the Creator. And maybe that's the reason. And how can I do it? Because they disconnect me one way or another. And this is how he reaches the next stage, where in connection with the Creator, he feels the connection with the Creator as the goal, that he feels that this is really how the Creator wants to bring him closer. And then the weight of his decision and thoughts move in the direction of the Creator, how much to adhere with him, and how much that Reshimo that came and frightened him and disconnected him also comes from the Creator in order to bring him closer, in order for him to come closer as a result. It's like a little child that's in his mother's hands, but he all the time pulls himself in different directions. He wants to climb down from her hands, and then when he sees something frightening, then on the contrary, he cleaves to his mother and doesn't want to come down. He doesn't want to come down from her hands, but on the contrary, for his mother to envelop him from all sides, like in the womb. And this is how a person begins to see this frightening awakening, unpleasant, as help from above, as a big correction sent to him by the Creator in order to disconnect him from the evil, from his nature, and to come closer to the Creator, and to come to know what good is. And this is how he corrects the Reshimo, and attaining the connection, adhesion, justifying the Creator that sent it to him and taught him upon this Reshimo. For the time being, he understands that there will come more and more such Reshimot, broken Reshimot, and he'll have to correct them this way. But as a result, he already becomes experienced. What does he have to be experienced for if once a new Reshimo comes, he feels himself once again disconnected from the Creator and this entire course, and once again he's in the hands of the evil force that dwells in the world, the evil powers. It's so that right now, while he's in the good state, he'll be able to build an environment for himself. That now, after he sees that he's really in the hands of blind fate, or none else besides him, and he can't do anything about it, but he's really like clay in the hands of the potter, what can he do? What can he do in order to save himself from the bad, Or maybe, what can he do in order not to curse the Creator, to justify him, to hold on to him in the worst possible situations? And then he understands that it's up to the environment. Then he understands that his choice is in the environment, that in the different states where the Reshimo is revealed and he's helpless and the world's dark and that everyone really wants to eat him alive. And also in a state where the Creator is revealed to him in mercy and chasadim, and then a person understands the reason for all of the evil for which the Reshimo has been revealed for, and that this is how it's supposed to be, otherwise how can he reach the recognition of reality at all? And this way he'll remain like a small animal that lives from a bit evil, from some bad to some good, without any results that are more exalted than just feeling reality as some good and some bad. In order to rise above that, to be saved from the bad and saved from the good, and to be knowledgeable, understanding, he needs a special force, the force of the Creator, that just like the Creator sends him the Reshimo, and afterwards the feeling of why and what for, this is how he wants to be above it. And not in order to be saved from the bad. That, of course, this is what he thinks in the beginning. But in order to justify the Creator in all the different states. This means that he wants to be righteous. Not for himself, but in order to justify the Creator, and then he needs the environment, and then he starts seeing that whether he really has a need, a desire for something that can help him in times of trouble, and then maybe not even in times of trouble, but in general, in order to be adhered, in order to justify the Creator all the time, not to just be adhered to Him, to feel good. Then I need the environment. That in order to acquire this kli, I have to all the time be in adhesion, along with the revelation of a more broken Reshimo every time. And of course, there are many discernments here, bigger, smaller, maybe a bit more personal, but actually, this is our way. To scrutinize the entire shattering, so that by it to determine the need for adhesion with the Creator, not because I feel bad, but because I want to justify Him, love Him, in the bad as in the good.